Hi, everyone listening. This is Zero Doubt Club podcast 45.
Yep,
It's a lot. It's a big number.
it's 45.
It's 45. It is not 10.
It's not
20.
10.
We got to 45. That's amazing. So anyway, big news. Let's share it. We hinted at it before, but what you got?
Well, what do I have? Well, it's what we all have. No, we have an awesome opportunity signing the new lease at the 9. Very grateful for that. Again, I'm going to go back to opportunity. I think it's just an amazing opportunity for us to build a community there. It's a good location. It's in the city of Cleveland, where a lot of us who are listening to this podcast are from, and
Or work. Or live.
and
Or play.
it kind of, I mean, I'm not talking from an ego point of view, but it kind of puts us more on the map. And if we're going to build a community and we're going to help others get better and we're going to help others heal and we're going to help others just become their best versions in whatever area of life they want to be at, it's a great opportunity for us to help a lot of people there.
And you and I have come full circle from looking at downtown as a playground, and now it's a great place to heal people and continue to keep healing ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's funny how the universe works. You see, like you said, just hang out downtown doing the wrong things. Even had my poker career there for many years and ultimately not happy in downtown, right down the street at the Jack Casino.
Right.
And now we're going to be a block away, kind of just, in a whole nother playing field of consciousness.
No, it's amazing. But yeah, why the 9? Again, it's such an amazing, gorgeous landmark in Cleveland. Introduced to them, a beautiful gym, great equipment that they have. It just I guess lacked a little bit of heart, soul, inspiration, some equipment, etc. So we made a deal that let us run it, let us bring their tenants another level of service with personal training and life coaching and meal planning, and really help them take their health to another level. We can bring outside clients that live or work downtown to the gym. We're painting it, bringing in equipment. It's an awesome facility, and it's an awesome building, and we have the rooftop. So we'll talk about VIP grand opening soon and yoga up on the roof. So it's just a great opportunity for us, for the 9, for our team. It's really, really exciting.
Yes. And speaking of our team, we got the amazing Meghan Cool here.
Happy half birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you feeling on that ball? You getting a little stretch in also?
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Better than a chair, I think.
Yeah.
Megan is 7 feet tall. And that's why she's sitting on a little bouncy ball.
I really wish I was.
She plays like she's 7 feet tall, right?
She plays and lives like she's 7 feet tall.
My dream height was 6'4". Obviously didn't make it, but...
Close, right?
Not obviously. I still look up to you.
That's true.
Physically and mentally. How tall are you?
Like 5'9", 5'10".
No, I'm 5'10". You're taller than me. No?
Or you're shorter, Eric.
Yeah. Somebody
Or
take
wrong
your
information.
Okay, I'm 5'9.5".
In shoes.
In shoes.
I feel like we're the same height. Did I grow? I'm serious.
Well, so today we want to introduce another rock star teammate, Meghan Cool. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team. Yes, her name is Cool. How cool is that?
It's kind of the worst.
It's kind of the worst?
Yeah, you'll
Why?
be on the phone with someone, or they'll be like, "What's your last name?" They don't believe you. Then they want proof, or they're like, "Pool, school," and I'm like, "No."
No, you're like, "No, you spell my name. C as in cool."
Or I'd be like, "That's cool," and they're still just like, "What?"
How many times do you hear that in your life?
Like that's cool. Like
Yeah,
that's cool jokes.
Yeah.
More than I can handle.
A million.
Yeah.
Oh, you handled them, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
So, okay, Megan, the generic quick question. So talk to us. You grew up in Geneva?
Yep. We moved out to Madison when I was 2, and I went to high school at Geneva from my sophomore year on. So,
Right.
out in the country a little bit.
Yeah.
Cowboy boots, cornfields.
Do you like it?
It's different.
Did you like it back then?
I did like it. I always enjoyed it, but I definitely like the city more.
But Geneva's a cool little city on the lake, and
Yeah.
and they have that nice downtown area and a bunch of wineries, and I mean it's definitely a touristy place.
I feel like a lot of people take the lake for granted. Because there's like people like Aaron who didn't know that a lake existed around here.
Seriously, you didn't know? You knew. He just thought it was too far away. Now we brought him closer.
Look at Aaron enjoying the fact that he's not doing the podcast.
Yeah, but he's having a great time.
He's having a great time. So where did athletics, sports? I mean, you started young. So how did that happen?
So my brother was always in sports, though he wasn't very good.
Okay. He appreciates this.
Yeah, he's 7 years older, so I was always around it, and I always wanted to play on his teams, which
Right.
he ended up being in a lot of rec leagues due to not making school teams.
Got it.
My dad coached a lot of those, so it kind of got me into that.
What sports?
I think a little bit of everything besides tennis.
Wow.
I'm waiting on Eric to teach me that. I heard
Tennis?
he's the tennis pro.
Yeah, not far from pro, but I can hit the ball over the net if you can.
Volleyball was definitely the main one, but a little bit of everything.
Volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Why volleyball?
About that.
I don't know.
Because you
I
played
think
soccer.
it was just like
you
my
played soccer.
best one.
It's your best one.
Yeah, for sure.
What other sports you played? You played soccer.
Basketball, track, softball.
What season is girls volleyball?
It's in the fall.
It's in the fall. So instead of soccer, then it was volleyball. Then winter was basketball.
Yeah, that turned into winter volleyball as well, travel leagues.
Oh.
So it turned into a year-round thing.
Right. How do you feel about
Year-round volleyball?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about that? That kids have to decide on a specific sport and can't play multiple sports? Because now, I mean, if any kid wants to play hockey, it's year round. It's not just winter. If they want to play lacrosse, it's year round. Basketball, same thing. Traveling and so on. So how do you feel about the fact that kids sports has now went towards you got to commit to a sport pretty young?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I think it leads to burnout a lot of times, or they're kind of forced to maybe pick the one they're best at. And I think playing multiple sports can make you better at another sport.
Right.
So I feel like sometimes you don't even reach your full potential in the sport that you pick.
Right. Plus, you learn so much from just different sports. And I just remember my kid wanting to play basketball and made the team. And, hockey was his first passion. But, he was learning the plays and inbound plays and defenses. And we would talk about it. And then, again, with the coach, it's just like he's got to pick one. And that was just not a fun thing in the family. But again, he had to choose, and it was hockey. But anyway, and I wish he would have learned more about basketball and whatever else. So okay,
It's
so
never too late.
It's never too late. No, absolutely. So you focused more on volleyball, and then you went to Spire.
I did go to Spire. Spire opened in the process of me transferring school, so due to not moving my home, I had to take a year off, and that's when Spire opened, so it was kind of the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, but Spire's a big deal.
It is.
It's the best of the best high school athletes, right?
High school, early college, from all over the world. I think that was the coolest part, is like seeing people not only from different states, but like different countries, like learning about like their culture, their food, their
Right.
just the way they interact, like their different training styles even.
Right. So some of the students that were in your class, where were they from?
Brazil, Puerto Rico,
Oh my God.
Canada,
And these are all
England.
volleyball players?
hmm
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool because I still talk to a lot of them now, so it
Sure.
was cool to see
Nice.
them kind of grow since we were kids.
So like in Russia, like we heard stories like as soon as somebody's better than most, then they go to Aspire type institute for that specific sport, and they like live and breathe, etc. And then obviously, professional. They become professional athletes, or some do, some play Olympics, etc. So, talk about the sketch at Aspire.
You were there all day, every day, just about. We maybe had
You live
a
there?
day off. So I lived at my house still, but they actually did have a boarding school. They stayed in a hotel because actually they didn't have housing built. They now have housing on site, which is super cool.
Right.
So no, you'd go there, you'd lift, play your sport for 4, 5, 6 hours, then
4, 5, 6 hours.
yeah, then you're eating a meal, you're hanging out for a second, then it's like, oh, pool, cool down workout. You're like, this is worse than the first workout, but
Right.
it's just,
And gym,
yeah,
and pool, and running, and sport.
Yoga.
So you're in athletics for more than 6 or 8 hours a day, every day.
it's a full-time job for sure.
How much school did you get while there?
So the schooling's pretty shortened. Like a normal day at Geneva is supposed to go to, I think, about 3:00. I would be out at 11:30.
Got it.
So it'd be at Spire before noon, and I'd be there until 10:30 at night.
How did you go back to high school where you were there till 3 and it was mostly
It was
academic? It was rough.
I had a lot of my classes done, so I had a lot of just for fun classes, I guess you'd say, like weightlifting, art, like silly things.
Right.
So it didn't make it too bad. And then obviously being in the sports and with my friends, it made it go by faster.
So you were part of the first class at Spire?
Yeah,
And your pictures on the wall?
it is on the wall. Little baby Megan.
We'll take a field trip out there. I want to see that
I don't
place.
even know.
Was
You'll
there ever a
recognize
little
me.
baby Megan, or you were always almost 6 feet tall?
I've probably
When
been
did
about
you
this
hit
height
your
since
growth
like
spurt?
middle school.
Growth spurt was middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were taller than all the other.
Yeah, I was hoping to hit another, but it was just an Amazon in middle school, and then after that, I was normal.
Kids caught up.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you go to a tournament like out of state. I'm short there. Like I'm looking up, I'm in girls' armpits, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Got it. But at least you know their feeling. You
Yeah.
had it at some point. So fond high school memory, looking back.
Honestly, just all my friends. I actually had a wedding this Friday. Got to reunite with a lot of them. A lot of them are living in different cities.
Yeah.
So it's really cool just to get back together with them.
Nice.
We made like a little side-by-side photo from when we were 10 to now at
Nice.
like 25, 26.
With similar gestures and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's cool. You'll have to share that with us.
For sure.
Then you went to Youngstown State. Why
did.
Youngstown?
Honestly, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I had visited Youngstown a bunch of times for volleyball camps, and I had a high school best friend who moved our sophomore year, and I hadn't really kept in touch with her a whole lot. Like it was a now and then. She's like, hey, I need a roommate at Youngstown. Did you pick a college yet? And I was like, no, but like, sure, let's do it.
Nice.
So we became close again, but it was kind of a spur of the moment decision.
That's good. So you went into food science. Nutrition was the big
Yeah,
focus and major.
I started as nursing and realized that was not for me. I didn't want to constantly take care of people who a lot of times also don't want it. I didn't want to work in a hospital or
Right.
anything like that. So it was one of those things, okay, what can I switch to that still makes sense, like still is in the wellness field. So I got into food science and nutrition.
Great comment that she just made. People that want it. She wants to help people that want it. not people that don't want it. And when you go to a hospital, you don't want to be there. You're hurting, you're whatever else. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jeremy and I talk about it all the time. It's like, how do we provide more for clients? And we always come back to they kind of want it,
Yeah.
right? Like they kind of, we all need it. We get that, but they really do need to want it, to want to be healthy, to want to, and it's tough and it's hard for change, but you recognize that right away, which is really interesting. Yeah. That's great. Youngstown, great memory.
All of it.
All of
I
it.
would go back
it.
in a heartbeat.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So you got your degree.
I did.
And then what? What'd you do after?
A little bit of everything.
I know. I know.
So I was at the YMCA.
Megan's work ethic is crazy. Like if she's not juggling 3-4 jobs and working 50-60 hours a week, she
I have too much free time.
It's too much free time.
But she did say she comes here to reset it.
It is. It's barely like work. It really is.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great. Life should be that way. Your job, your life should be that way. And some of us realize that at 45. Some realize it in their 20s. So it's great. So YMCA you worked. What'd you do there?
So I did nutrition and fitness coaching there. I was also in Ashtabula City Schools doing employee wellness, which is always interesting. So there in Orange Theory at the same time, that's kind of when the pandemic hit and everything shut down.
Right.
Then I was out of work, so I went back to being a corrections officer because I was like, I can't sit at home anymore. Like, you can only entertain yourself for so long. Like, you can only go on so many walks, work out so much.
Do not mess with Megan. Do not mess with her. You better do all your reps.
Do some self-defense, take Aaron down, show you the techniques.
Aaron's like, how do I keep getting dragged into this podcast? I thought I was out. Okay, so how'd you get into correction officer?
They were open when everything else was shut down.
Work ethic.
So originally,
I mean, honest answer, that's fine.
Originally in college, I did rotations for my degree. So we kind of went all over. So like in one of them, I was in a prison, I was in city schools, I was in hospitals, employee wellness, a little bit of everything. So the prison was super interesting because it's a job you don't really think of. Like, oh, like they actually do have meal plans. Like they have to meet a certain standard every day.
Right.
So I was just there temporarily. But then after I graduated and took the job as a corrections officer in Lake County, it's kind of like, well, something to do until everything opens back up and I'm doing what I want to do again. But it's definitely entertainment.
Right. That's great. I mean, it sounds like you made an impact there beyond the job, that you looked at it from the how do I help on the nutrition side and so on. So currently you're working at Zero Doubt Club. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. But you're also working at the Emily program. Talk about that.
So the Emily program is a residential eating disorder site. We house about 16 people at a time. Typical stays 6 to 8 weeks. Could be a year, could be longer.
Right.
So I do a lot of different things there. I like it because it's a lot of client one-on-one or group activities, and it's just really cool to see people's hopeful progress.
And really similar to Zero Doubt Club, right? I mean, it's mind, body, soul.
Oh, yeah.
Searching, mindset.
Yeah, their whole day is mapped out, whether it's something with behavioral therapy, nutrition educations, meal supports, behavior interventions, everything.
Right. And so is it like a 12-step program for eating, or is it different?
I mean, I guess essentially you could make anything a 12-step program.
Right. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's more like a rehab.
Yeah.
Would you say it's helping these people with eating disorders, and you've talked about it with us a little bit on how just the spectrum of patients is so broad. It's from young to old. It's amazing. But the helping them connect dots, right, on how, besides the negative, but how do they live positively, right? And how do they go back out in the real world and not abuse themselves and abuse mentally, physically, with food, etc. And again, most people have some vices. So how, in a I guess, in a broad or in as much detail as you want, like, talk about that. What dots connect on helping someone, get over the vice?
I think it's first just having them come to a realization, like, I actually need help. I think that's usually the hardest step.
And they're not there yet.
No, even when they are there.
Right.
Sometimes
So they're
it's
there.
like reality
Sometimes
hasn't kicked in.
Reality has not kicked in.
Yeah.
What brings them in?
It could be a referral. They could come from another site. They could have just got on our wait list, whether it's from family, them, etc.
And they still don't feel that they have a problem.
A lot of people know.
Wow.
Like, sometimes it'll take a few weeks or even sometimes a few months. And I think the coolest part is, like, seeing people's personalities come out. Like, once they realize, like, oh, I need help, and then they get that help and their brain
it's like
starts
a different
working
person
properly.
pops up, right? A little bit.
It really is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well,
little mini awakening. Oh, okay.
Honesty, because they're hiding
I need
so
help.
long and lying.
I need help.
So
I need
long.
help. That's like
That's
an
Eric
awakening
feels
right
around
there.
us.
What?
I said that's how Eric feels around us.
I do. I need help. I need these super conscious, high level of conscious vegan people around me.
Vegan. Yeah, let's talk about that.
We're still on a we'll get there. But so they're in rehab, right? They're in rehab and they still feel they don't have a problem.
A lot of times.
Got it. So how do they make that first step of accepting that they do?
I honestly don't know. I feel like it comes to everyone differently. Like, I don't know if it's just a brain click or if it's just the constant repetition of, hey, you actually do. That's why you're here. This is why you have the schedule all day long.
Right.
Brain click. I like it.
The brain click, the also probably the community, right? They're with 15 other people that have an issue. They're sharing stories. Suddenly they're connecting dots of, oh, yeah, I kind of do that too.
Yeah, like seeing other people's behaviors or even putting them in a situation where they're uncomfortable, and then it's like, well, this is a normal everyday thing.
Right.
And you're like, oh, like, you're right.
Right.
But sometimes it's just like, we all have those habits that are like, oh, it's normal, but it's not.
Okay, what's the next? I guess I'm kind of going towards steps, but all right. Now they say, okay, I have a problem. How does Emily program help them beyond? I mean, the first step of accepting it and admitting to it and wanting help is the biggest step by far. Then what?
I feel like it's just behavioral interventions. Whether it's just repetitions of normal things like sitting at the table, eating a meal, whether it's fact checking, just educating people more.
Right. Helping them connect dots that
Yeah.
they couldn't connect before. And talk about how, so again, you said different person, and I really like that. So different human being now is there getting help. What's the difference in those people?
One of my favorites is we had someone, she really didn't talk while she was there. It was just kind of like, we do everything you ask. We're just kind of like going through the motions, just there but not really present.
Yes.
And then after a few weeks of like just making even small progress, like the personality starts to come out, whether it's like they start little conversations or like just, she ended up being so funny. And I was like, remember 2 months ago when I couldn't even get you to say good morning, and now you're here
It's amazing.
making jokes.
It's great. So out of the shell of a person that they were, because they were so like hurt and so on. So so you're juggling Emily Program and Zero Doubt Club, and you're helping people in both areas. What's the similarities or differences Zero Doubt Club?
It's definitely very different environment wise. Here's definitely a lot more upbeat, positive. We're like the Emily Program. It does have its positives, but a lot of times it takes a lot to get there. So then when you do, it is more rewarding.
Yeah, but it's very serious too,
Yeah.
right? We're maybe.
You're saying we're not serious?
No. I was just gonna correct myself and say it's just as serious. I think because the vices is obesity, the vices is stress, the vices is whether someone has an eating disorder, but somebody else has a stress disorder, has a also some level of eating disorders. They know they're eating something that they shouldn't be eating, or excessively, or whatever else. Again, I don't want to get to the levels of it, but yeah, this is serious. It's just I guess their level of seriousness and so I don't know if I would call it a similarity or a difference.
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
I think similarity wise, it's just watching people make progress and get excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it right there.
That's it
Boom.
right there. Boom. We got there. We
The
got
little
there.
growth spurts. You think you can stop growing at 45? Some people just start.
Some people just start. But and back to our tagline of the joy within the journey lies the joy. That's the joy. That's that smile of I got this and I'm going to get there. And again, in our name, the Zero Doubt. Someone with lots of doubts now have less doubts and more faith and tools in their belt to do the right thing, so they authentically feel better and not worse. Because that's what we, and I'll put myself in there, we did to ourselves, was we just kept doing things for instant gratifications, but holistically it made us feel worse and worse and worse and worse. And that new momentum of joy and happiness and peace and confidence of I see the light and I'm gonna get there, versus the total opposite. I'm never going to get there and I don't see the light. I mean, it's...
Yeah, you separated from yourself. Ultimately, when we separate from that negative self, there's the peace and joy, because you just realize, wow, everything that I thought was me is not me.
Right.
All the negative things you thought was you that led to all the drinking was not you.
And that's why we talk about it's a different human being. And
Me too.
I've how many times have you heard that about yourself, about me? Just different human beings. Our clients, different human beings than who they were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, etc. And wow is not a one realization. The wow is there literally every day.
It's every day. It's every day.
It's every day. Versus 0 days of wow, like in the past. I'm just saying the few and far between, or it was the first 10 minutes of whatever we were doing. It was the wow, and then it was unwow. The rest.
Just needed the little push.
He did more than a little
Sometimes
push.
that's all it is a very little push.
Very little push. It's also go ahead.
I was going to say that's another similarity. I think I've got I hate you at both jobs this week. And then at the end of it, they're like, hey, I actually don't. Like, I'll see you later in the week.
Nice. Yeah, of course. Mid plank, you I hate you. And then the feeling when you're done, just like, oh my God, that was amazing.
It's never the trainer's fault.
Never the trainer's fault. Okay, so that's up to now. So let's talk about you personally.
You want my personal business out there?
I want your personal business out there. Put it out there.
So I'm not on social media, so no one knows.
No social media. That was on my thing.
Yeah.
But your dream is to...
You're going to run my social media.
No, me?
After I'm on the billboard and become famous,
We'll get you.
You'll be my manager.
Okay, fine.
You will be on a billboard, guaranteed. Why not social media? Were you never on?
Maybe like a couple months, and even at that, I didn't really use it. I think people get so wrapped up in it, and I think so many things can be taken the wrong way. I think it has a lot of benefits too.
Right.
Like, it's obviously great when you have a business or you want to market something, or if you want to just like stay in touch with family. But I feel like there's so many people who have negatives to it. Like, they get hooked on it, like whether they're in bed at night and scrolling for hours, or they see a post and take it the wrong way.
Well, that's everybody.
Yeah.
That's literally everybody I know is on social way too long, especially with the new TikToks and scrolling through those videos. And
Don't
damn
act like
TikToks
we
got
didn't see
everybody.
TikToks.
and those psycho political arguing guys.
I saw your TikTok dances.
I
Don't
used to
lie.
be
It's
one.
crazy.
I used to be one. I'm trying to weave off. It's just zero productivity and not good for mental health. But so you said positives and negatives. So meeting these friends that you haven't seen in a long time at that wedding was amazing, I bet. And you had to like catch up, where I can go to a wedding and I already know everything about everybody already because it's all been on social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So how were those conversations with your friends that you caught up?
I feel like it's nice because I feel like a lot of times people will see things on social media, but you don't really get to know everything about it. Like,
Right.
you know, my one friend
But
just
you knew
recently had
neither.
a baby. I knew she had a baby. I hadn't seen pictures. I didn't know everything about him, you know, starting to crawl and everything like that. So
Right.
it's being able to have those conversations and catch up and not be like, oh, I already know everything. Like, we can just have a random conversation, you know. It's like actually having conversation about
Super
life.
authentic self conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're open books. I mean, our whole life is on social. I get the negatives, but the positives for me, it's literally like a life diary. And there's so many amazing
Scrapbook.
I know, but printing it and doing it, not going to happen. Posting it quickly on Facebook or whatever else, it's just, you know, looking back at pictures from 10 years ago with the kids and we're go-karting or we're at Disney World or we're at whatever else, and I take a screenshot and resend it to them as a reminder and whatever else. I just feel like it's this rolling scrapbook, but it's also like,
It is, but it's also instant gratification scrapbook.
It is. You know, again, everyone has that. Not everyone. Everyone except for Meghan has that. And Aaron, I think. Are you on social? We're going to keep bringing you into this podcast, whether you like it or not. Getting likes, seeing who liked, reading comments, running
just
it.
the search and just the searching and just like looking at other people's lives and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say that running into people and already knowing what's up and maybe avoiding some of that small talk, and we can get into something else more specific. Again, there's pluses and minuses.
That's a good point.
But I do respect that you made that strong move of not social, because you don't want the negatives. And again, I literally weigh the positives and negatives of social literally all the time, and I know I'm not the only person. No.
I think people just get hooked on their phones a lot in general.
Yeah,
Whether it's
I wouldn't want to
social
share
media
my
or-
average phone time with anyone. Like, it's not good. It's not healthy. But
When I cracked my screen, I said once the glass falls off, I just won't have a phone. I'll live without it.
got it.
You'll have to email me.
Right.
Nice.
When I went on vacation,
Or text you to a flip phone.
Yeah, that might
Yeah.
work. You can page me.
Page.
When I was on vacation, I turned my phone off for a couple days, and everyone thought I like died. And I'm like, you can't spend 3 days of vacation just peaceful with no disturbance without people thinking you're dead. And it's just crazy to think
When
that's how we're living.
we all need 3 days of no disturbance, no
So
phone.
personal life, if you don't have social, that's an extra 3-4 hours a day that you have.
It's my
To
4
play
hours of
volleyball.
sleep.
So what? So you play a lot of volleyball.
I do play a lot of volleyball.
Where do you play?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, literally.
Frequently around the Cleveland area, but a couple weeks I'll be in Pittsburgh. I've been in,
The islands.
I've been in Chicago,
Wow.
Minneapolis, Philadelphia. A little bit of everywhere, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Traveling's got to be
Women's league is
half
too
the fun.
boring for
Yeah.
Megan, so she plays in the men's leagues.
Every now and then.
I didn't know the net was taller for men.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same volleyball, just like in tennis, it's the same height for men and women. But for volleyball, it's a different height.
It is.
Yeah, and you still spike it on the men's heads.
You'll have to come find out.
We will.
We just got the invite, huh?
We just got the
Pittsburgh.
invite.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's
I
a
might be
women's
there.
tournament. Me and my doubles partner, Courtney, gonna kill it there.
Okay.
So a lot of volleyball. What else? What else do you do?
Hiking with my dog. Big on that. Checking out new parks.
Big on that.
Yeah. The All Trails app.
winter.
Got Aaron on that.
Winter.
Winter, I hate the cold personally. Like, I'll go out and do outdoor things still, but if I didn't have to have snow, I wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
when a lot of indoor volleyball. Cleveland actually has some cool indoor sand courts now.
Right.
So that's what I did most of winter was indoor sand doubles still.
Got it. That's cool. Vegan. How long have you been? Oh, well, before the accident was. I'm just kidding.
You
I
almost
thought I
did
gave-
corrupt me.
I thought I corrupted Megan with a non-vegan dish by accident, but they were just messing around. with it. See,
We weren't even making a joke out of it. It just turned into one.
what? Why vegan? When did you make that decision? How long?
It's probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember exactly. I had seen a lot of studies, documentaries, theories, whatnot
Videos.
about how
Animal cruelty.
that and just like feeling better. So I was like, oh,
Got it.
try it for 30 days, see how it goes. So I did it for 30 and I was like, okay, like I feel good, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, am I still going to? Is it sustainable? Whatnot. So I was like, oh, I'll do another 30, and then it just never
Stay.
stopped.
Got it. You think you're vegan forever?
For sure.
For sure. Favorite vegan meal?
I don't have favorite foods, I don't think. I mean,
At
there's
all?
definitely some that are like up there, but I don't know. I can't really pick favorites.
Do you ever think of a food and then you just have to have it?
Tacos are up there. It's Taco Tuesday.
Today is
Today,
Taco
yeah.
Tuesday. All right. So what's in that taco?
My favorite is Soul's Tacos in downtown Willoughby. So they have vegan chorizo and they put guacamole between the two shells with like some cabbage saw and spicy aioli on there.
Nice.
And that's where we're going after this podcast.
It sounds great. It does. Music?
I think a little bit of everything besides country and screamo.
Me too. What's screamo? Just I don't like
Aaron's
country.
favorite music.
I don't like. Were
I
they?
just feel like it just gives me a headache. Like if I want to hear people scream, like
Oh, scream hard rock. Yeah.
not even like hard rock though, like
Harder.
metal.
Like steel metal or what's it called, Aaron?
Aaron, come give us a little demo of what that sounds like.
No, but Aaron works out to it, so it's almost an excuse. Like if you're gonna listen to it when you're trying to deadlift 300 pounds. I get it. I kind of get it at that point.
600.
Do you do mosh pits there? Yeah. Okay. Good. So you just do it to motivate you to lift more. That's great. Okay. Agree with you on music. So literally all music. So like.
Yeah, if you go through my phone, if you put it on shuffle, you don't know what to expect.
So even like 70s, 80s music,
everything.
Techno music, all of it. That's cool. Book. Favorite.
I don't know. I'd have to go through my stack. I'm like big on reading, but I like informational or like self-help books. I don't like fiction books.
Right.
Same.
Nonfiction. Same.
Like I used to read them, but then I don't know. I just get hooked on like just want more and more info on anything and everything.
One of your favorite books and why?
I really don't know. I'll have to get back to you on it.
All right, we'll do
Look through 'em
podcast
all.
48. We'll talk about
Yeah.
Aaron, you're going to be on too. Don't be smiling back there. You're going to be on too.
By the way, you're doing great.
We'll go back and forth.
You were all nervous, and Jeremy was so worried about you.
You're the only one who worries you.
I'm the only one that worries.
Literally, he's the only one.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll get him one day.
Stressed for 10 minutes getting this thing together.
Seriously. Well, favorite exercise?
I like anything with back.
Wow. That's
I would have thought
interesting.
legs.
No,
Yeah.
not
So-
arms like Harry.
Roll.
Yeah.
63.
Just biceps. 3 days in a row.
Rows, pull-ups.
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, I just want a shredded back. Just
For ball?
Yeah,
does it
just
help
bounce
with
some
the
balls.
spike? Does it help with the spike?
I feel like
it
it has
does,
to.
right? Because
it's
you're
all coming from
winding.
your back and core.
Least favorite exercise?
Running. I
Really?
hate running.
Got it.
Why run? when
What's
you
the
play
longest
9
you've
hours
ever
of
run?
volleyball?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I would run when my dog was a puppy, but after that, when he's like, oh, I don't want to run anymore, I'm like, perfect.
By the way, have you ever tracked how many steps you take when you play volleyball?
Usually.
So,
And
an hour or two of volleyball, how many steps?
I feel like it's not as many as you'd think because it's just short movements, you know? Like, it's a lot of 3 steps to the ball, you're jumping in the air.
Right.
Like, it's more jumping than stepping, I guess.
So tennis is actually a lot of steps.
He's trying
When
to
you play
tennis.
when you play singles. No. I'm just saying way
Well, no,
more
they can
steps
teach
than
me.
you would
Yeah.
think. Like an hour of tennis is more than 3,000 steps, so sometimes 4,000 steps, which is like 2 miles. But you'd never think that you just ran 2 miles, but a lot of little sprints. Doubles is not that case. You're lucky if you have 100 steps playing doubles. But so I'm just wondering if volleyball is the same way. It's got to be.
It's probably similar to that, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
think it definitely depends on, like, what format, too. Like, 2s, 4s, 6s. Obviously, in 2s, there's a lot more movement.
Got it. So when you're not playing volleyball, not walking your dog, what else are you doing? Concerts?
I haven't been to any concerts in a while.
Well,
I used to, and then I feel like I had all kinds of festival tickets that got canceled, and then I just never got new ones. But anything outside, kayaking, paddleboarding, hiking.
look at you, super athlete. It's got to be sporting.
I like art. I'm artsy.
Wow.
I paint
You
and
draw,
draw
paint?
a lot. Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Repurpose
Wow.
furniture. So if you see something on Pinterest you like, you can make it happen.
Stop it. So you have
Wow,
like
so
the
there's an
woodworking
artist in there,
tools
huh?
and stuff?
Yeah. What's that?
Woodworking tools? And,
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Is that what you learned on the farm in Madison?
I don't really know how I picked it up. I think it was like probably one of my first projects. I was in college and I needed furniture but didn't want to move my stuff all the way to Youngstown. So I went to like a place that used to buy out storage units and bought a dresser set for like $50.
Right.
But it looked like crap. Like just
you
stickers all
sanded it
over
down,
it,
painted.
scrapes, like the color was ugly, and I just completely repurposed the whole thing. So,
Wow. That's good to know.
and then after that, it's my family's like,
I
oh,
hope-
can you make me this? I found this. Can you do this with it? And then it was,
I hope my wife's not listening because she'll have you repurpose everything in her house. What are you best at professionally?
I feel like just being a people person. So I feel like without that, you can't.
What does a people person mean?
Like being able to just build relationships and talk to people
Connect.
and not feel like intimidating to them, I guess.
Got it.
Nice. That's good.
That's great.
That's a good one.
That's great. Where's Megan in 5 years?
And Zero Dot Club somewhere on the south side.
Oh, I like it. Let's go. Let's go.
South side.
Maybe the
where?
West Coast.
Let's
West Coast.
go. I like that one.
Send me
Oh,
somewhere
that's
warm.
right. I do remember part of your interview. You want to open up. Was it Florida or California?
Anywhere warm.
Yeah, I just need no snow.
Got it. Got it.
Bruno
What-
doesn't like the snow or the wet either.
What
so
about Denver, where there's snow but there's 300 days of sunshine?
I could do Denver.
I like that. I like skiing. Have you ever skied?
I have
Snowboarded?
not skied or snowboarded.
Got it. Where's Megan in 20 years? Gonna be old like us.
Yeah, hopefully retired.
Who are you talking?
Yeah,
Hopefully retired. I like that one. I like that one.
What?
So if you're retired, what are you doing?
I get to spend all day with my dog. Just doing whatever, being outside, going to beaches, parks, just living the life.
That is the life.
Nice.
That is life.
Oh, we didn't talk about the fact that you're a 5 a.m.
I am.
Yeah, all three of us.
We
are
didn't
5
need to.
a.m.ers. Everyone knew. You could tell by the story.
Yeah.
You could tell by the story. Okay, final few questions. See, you're crushing this. This is great.
Until I listen to it
I've-
later.
I feel I know you more. What are you most grateful for?
My dog,
What else? Top
my
three.
family, and my friends.
Nice. What are you most fearful of?
Sour cream and mayo.
Sour
I
cream
knew
and
you were
mayo.
going to say that.
Yeah.
You're fearful of sour cream and mayo?
If it touches me, I might cry.
Really?
Yeah, that might be the thing to do it. It's just so gross to me.
Even vegan mayonnaise?
No.
Oh my god, I love it. Do you have questions for us, Megan?
I don't know. I feel like I need to put you through a podcast.
We can do that.
We can do that. Yeah.
We'll have Aaron on and we'll do questions and answers. How
Jeremy,
about that?
Yeah,
Jeremy
there
will
we
not
go.
do the outline, that's for sure.
I am not doing the. How can anyone do better than this outline? Come on, Aaron.
I'm not even going to do
You're
it
in
all.
charge of all the outlines moving forward.
Megan, thank you. We're excited for you. We're excited to have you. Excited to see you crush it at Zero Dot Club and just in life, and keep doing you.
Thank you.
Very grateful. Thanks, Megan.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys. Peace.
Peace out.